Hi Emily, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm okay, thank you. How are
Bit of
you?
a different setup to what we would normally
It
um,
is, yeah.
be used to, the whole working from home environment.
Yeah.
So obviously we spoke to you last year and you wrote a little blog for us about your apprenticeship and where you were at. So can you tell us sort of what stage of the apprenticeship you're at now and sort of how long you have left?
Yeah. So I've just started my second year of the degree apprenticeship. Um Obviously with Teesside University as last year. Um which is really interesting. So we've moved from the HNC onto the BEng now. And it'll take me another 3 years after this year to get my BEng, and then another two after that to get my masters. So it's coming quick, definitely.
I know, yeah, it feels like time's flying. And obviously
Yeah.
with all the changes that we've seen this year, has your role sort of changed in the last year at all with the impact of obviously the pandemic and things?
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I think everybody's life is a lot different, isn't it? But for us, obviously, we've worked the whole way through as everyone else in PD Pots. But we've sort of got used to being like huddled around site plans. And one thing that I've noticed now is if you go on site, like everybody's 2 meters apart and there's this big circle of people, and it's just really strange. Yeah, it's because obviously you feel like work isn't really affected when you continue going to work all the time, and then
Yeah,
it's like something like that happens and it's strange. But yeah, obviously Teams calls, we do a load of our work by Teams calls now. And I think in some respects that's been really good, because we used to spend hours traveling from site to site.
yeah,
A lot of it we still do have to travel for, but a lot of it you can still do on Teams, and there's no real issue. You don't lose anything by doing it on Teams,
yeah.
and you end up having quite a lot more time not traveling and things. So yeah, it's been a different sort of year, hasn't it?
Definitely, yeah. So is your sort of as your sort of practical educational side of things moved online in terms of with the uni and things, is that all turned remote as well?
Yeah. So we're doing all of our degree online at the minute. I know there's still some students that are going in for labs and practical things like that. We're doing lectures and seminars online, which hasn't been a problem really. It's not really changed anything for us.
Yeah,
Because like if you get stuck on a bit of the seminar, you can go back and rewind and
yeah,
pause
to catch up that way.
somewhere. Yeah,
Sort of
yeah.
obviously you've had that obviously support from the university then, so you've now got that online support. How has PD Port supported you over the last year in obviously making sure that you still continue with your apprenticeship and your learning and sort of your development as well?
Yeah, I think like a lot of us are just grateful that we've still got a job through a global pandemic, and I'm really grateful that we have a company that we know are going to support us through that. But as well, we've been allowed to like work flexibly. So if I know other people with children, if they've had any problems, it's been great for them being able to do flexible working. And I quite enjoy that as well, because you get that time at home to work through your admin, and you're not getting people coming in all the time and seeing
Yeah,
stuff
less
like that. So that's quite good.
distractions.
Yeah. But yeah, and as well with like the mental health side of things, I've noticed a massive increase in that support for that, which I think is really good. And I think it's brought to light a lot of how important it is to look after your mental health. But personally, for me, how they've supported me through my degree apprenticeship is nothing's changed, and I think that's the best thing is regardless of the global pandemic, I've still been able to do my degree apprenticeship with no problems, and it's not changed at all. I'm still getting the same level of support from like my colleagues. I know if I've got any problems with university work, I can go to them, and yeah, it's just been great to be able to continue it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, as you say, obviously, for some people, it's been like mental health has been at the forefront of trying to get through these lockdowns and trying to
Yeah.
work every day and balance that home life. Some people homeschooling at the same time. So I think obviously the likes of being able to use technology to our advantage in that sense and having teams available to be able to have these conversations with people and have those team meetings still and still stay connected is obviously beneficial to a lot of people. And the likes of our internal app Strive as well, I think a lot of people have been using that as a helpful tool to sort of stay connected with employees as well and keep up to date with what's going on in the business, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously it's been a bit of a crazy year. Would you have any advice for anyone who has sort of looking to start an apprenticeship this year, or something you've taken from this last year that you want to maybe take forward into the future?
Yeah, I think for anyone going into like a degree apprenticeship now, I think there's sort of never been a better time to go into it. The opportunities in the area are growing like so fast, and I sometimes can't believe like the developments going on in the area, and even though we drive past them on our way to work every day. So yeah, I don't think there's ever been a better time to get into it, in my lifetime, obviously. And I just think go for it, because there's nothing stopping you achieving like really, really great things around here. But I think one of the things that I've learned this year particularly is to enjoy now and not always like strive for tomorrow and the day after.
Yeah. The benefits of hard work. But yeah, so even though obviously the pandemic's affected a lot of people and hasn't been a great year for some, how, in a positive way, what are you sort of aiming to do by next year? So have you got any career goals that you want to try and achieve for next year or anything like that?
I think I just want to keep pushing towards where I've always been aiming, like moving along with becoming a good engineer and making sure I'm getting the most out of my education and the people around me. But I think I just want to keep pushing and keep that momentum through, even though we've had a global pandemic. Keep pushing to sort of get the most out of my degree apprenticeship, and looking forward to hopefully progressing further than that after my degree apprenticeship as well.
Definitely. I suppose in a way there's sort of less distractions as well. I mean, I know obviously we're restricted in what we can do with lockdown and the different sort of rules that are in place, but I suppose it really allows you to focus on the important things in life, and you can sort of focus on your learning, you can focus on your development and wider things that you maybe would have been sort of clouded by other less important things in normal life. or what was normal life.
What was normal, yeah, I'd agree with that.
So my final question to you is the usual. What advice would you give to anyone considering an apprenticeship, obviously especially in the current situation that we're in as well?
I think anyone looking for an apprenticeship now, I would be looking to take all of the opportunities that I could, especially because I know some opportunities will be reduced, like workplace visits and things like that won't be allowed because of COVID at the moment. So anything that comes up, I think you should jump at, because I imagine that they're limited at the minute. And especially if any degree apprenticeship comes up, I'd definitely be jumping at those as well, because they're a great way to learn, and I love them. I think it's the best way personally for me to learn, but I think a lot of people would benefit from degree apprenticeships. So yeah, that'd be my advice.
Good. Do you think sort of events like National Apprenticeship Week and sort of Careers Week are important to have and important to sort of share the awareness of apprenticeships as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think companies sharing their sort of opportunities is great for people to follow as well, so people can get on board with those opportunities and learn from our apprenticeships as well, and other people that are doing similar things in the area. There's lots of people who I know have advice to offer, and you can learn from sort of their route. So yeah, I think National Apprenticeship Week is a really good way to find out what's out there.
Great stuff. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Emily. as always, you have been a pleasure, and it's always great to hear of your experiences and how you're progressing, and it's good to catch up with you. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Speak to you soon.